Hi everyone, welcome to Values. So today we're looking at Humactye. As you know, the story of the company, they were up for FDA approval on August the 10th. FDA rang them on the 9th and said we didn't do our homework in time, even though we had 6 months. Apparently it's actually not that weird because only about 90% of priority review, priority status kind of applications get done on time. About 10% don't. So in a way, like for Humactye's application to be delayed is actually not too weird in the sense of things, because the product is actually quite new. There's nothing else on the market, which is what's awesome about the company, but it's not awesome when the FDA needs more time. But you know, eventually they'll come back with a date, possibly in a month's time, or when they think they've nearly finished their review, because obviously they don't give a time frame because they've got a lot of work, and they think it's going to take much longer. The CEO kind of communicated during the second quarterly call. They felt like FDA was trying to tell them it might take a couple of months, which isn't ideal, but you know, it is the story. And basically their focus is going to be try to get all the data compiled for the hemodialysis, which is the recent phase 3 trial that they just finished, and then try to get an application in at the start of next year, and hopefully it'll be up for FDA approval at the end of next year. And then so in a way we get a timeline in terms of finances, because of this, because of the delay. They're basically not doing other trials because they want to conserve cash. So as much as there's a lot of other areas their product would be suitable for, they can't actually they don't want to spend that money because they don't have certainty when they're going to get approval, when the revenues are going to come in. And I think that's where people are kind of worried, because they've got a limited runway of cash. I think they should get approval in time, but it might at the same time also mean they'll have to do a bit of capital raise, which is never ideal for an investor, but in a way that is the reality of the story. That's how companies kind of fund themselves, grow. They need capital. So I think given the kind of delay, there's a good chance they'll do a capital raising on approval. So yeah, like in terms of that, there's not a lot to really say. Like anything that was mentioned in second quarter financials, it was kind of expected. So research and development expenses was 23.8 million for the second quarter, and it's slightly up from the prior year of 20 million. So they're kind of burning about that much on their R&D, and then they've got general and administrative expenses for that same quarter, 5.7 million. Like they are burning quite a bit of cash, but in a way they do have a good amount still left. The company reported cash and cash equivalents of $93.6 million. So yeah, like they've got they've got enough runway for probably up to half a year if they buckle down. If not, they'll have to do some capital raising, which, you know, if we're talking about that kind of limited time frame in terms of things like that, there's a high certainty they'll do a capital raising on approval. Just for the certainty and the health of the balance sheet, I would imagine. Let me know if you've got any questions or comments. Just put them below, and I will see you next time, and good luck investing, everyone.